Welcome everyone to today's episode of Loud Nerds podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, and with me I have the true Portuguese stallion, one half of the Brothers of Destructions, Mr. Diogo. How are you feeling today, my friend?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling hot because it's hot here in Portugal.
Yeah,
But yeah, all good. And you, Rafael? You good
I,
as
I'm.
well?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. It's almost midnight here, so but
It's early.
I'm
It's very early. It's very
yeah.
early.
I had coffee, so I'm fine. So with us also the third element of our group, it's the Portuguese Chuck Norris with short hair, my friend Joaquim.
Yes,
How are
that
you
would be
today, my
me.
friend?
I'm also very good, thank you. Also very hot, freaking summer out here, in here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And to round up today's amazing group, we have Telmo. Sorry, Telmo, I still don't have a nickname for you. I have one in Portuguese, but it doesn't work in English, so I won't try to translate it. How are you today?
Hello, I'm fine. I'm the amazing part of this group.
True study.
don't you lie.
It's also hot here, but it's because I live near Diogo, one city away. But
Yeah. So today, guys, it will be a little bit different. So Joaquin will explain a little bit how the podcast will be structured, what we will do every week, okay? And then we will just introduce a little bit ourselves, so you know a little bit about me and the other guys. So Joaquin, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so our podcast will basically consist of us talking about the highlights that happened during the week of what any news related to either gaming, movies, etc. Basically, any media, and also what we have been playing or watching during that week. Basically, letting you guys know of our opinions and such. And after that, we each of us will bring a topic to the table for us to discuss anything that might be relevant or worth discussing and sharing with you guys. Um, and also maybe we might bring some special guests to the table and so on. Right now, I think it would be best if each of us give you a little introduction about ourselves, and I guess I'll start. My name is, as Rafael said, my name is Joaquim. I'm 24 years old, and what can I say about me? My favorite game is probably The Last of Us. Right now, after the part 2 coming out, I can't really say if it's either the second one or the first one, but just that franchise in general.
Well,
What?
that will be a good discussion.
Yes, it
One
will.
versus
Yes,
two.
yes, yeah. Actually, just for you guys to know, me and Rafael are planning to do a spoiler cast about the second Last of Us, so
Yeah,
that might be brought up in our discussion.
I have much to
Uh,
say about the second one.
yes, yes, I can see
I don't
that.
want spoilers. No, thank you.
No
Yeah.
spoilers. No, no spoilers. What else? I also am a huge fan of watching, as anyone else here in the group, watching some movies and TV shows. Actually, recently I went to watch Dunkirk, for instance, for the first time in the cinema, and it was a very nice experience.
I
Definitely
haven't.
worth watching.
I haven't watched it. It's on Netflix, right?
It is actually.
Yeah,
Yes.
But
yeah.
I would say yes, it
Oh,
is for some time now,
nice.
actually.
Nice. I didn't know
But
that.
I would, if possible, I would, and I don't know if it's still in the cinemas, but I would definitely recommend you watching in cinemas.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference with the
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
It
It
definitely
should.
does.
It should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I used to watch some anime in the past. I'm not really doing that anymore for now. But I'm also I'd say I'm a big fan of that. Dragon Ball would be probably my favorite anime just for the nostalgia's sake, definitely. But I guess that's it for me. Diogo, want to share with us
Yes.
anything about you?
Yeah. Well, I'm 32 years old. I'm from Portugal. I've been a nerd for, well, all my life, I want to say. I was brought into this world by my brothers, so I have them to thank for. I've played all my life, or I've cried that I wanted to play when I was a little kid, and my brothers wouldn't let me. I watch a
You
lot
are
of.
the younger one, right? You.
I am the younger one. Yes,
Yeah.
we are three brothers. We had one PC, and as you can guess, I would not be allowed to play much. So yeah, now I take my time in playing a lot, so I get my time worth. What else I can say? I see a lot of TV shows. I absolutely love to watch all kinds of TV shows, especially sci-fi related ones. Those are my jam. And fantasy ones are also nice, but you don't have that many that are quality, especially with a
What
lot
a
of,
nerd.
especially with a
You
lot of
are
Game of Thrones. Yes.
you are definitely the guy that I know that watch more TV shows per week. You watch like 14
Now,
or 15 or something like that.
yeah, nowadays. Before it was way more than that, but then they started finishing, and I didn't replace them because it was too much time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watch a lot. I like it. What can I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides gaming, I enjoy a lot of action RPGs, kind of like Diablo and Path of Exile. The guys know that I play a lot of Path of Exile. It's what I'm
Yes, we do.
most addicted now. I like the way we can explore a character's potential, so that just speaks to me. Besides that, I also enjoy a lot of MMORPGs. I've played WoW for, I want to say, 7 years, plus one after I quit, so 8.
You start again?
That's what I was gonna say. I'm considering starting again. I'm very
God.
curious about
I just don't get it.
I'm very curious about Shadowlands. Don't judge me. But yeah.
No.
Besides that, I also like my RPGs. I play shooters, but I'm not very good. So let's just not talk about it. Okay.
What kind of shooters have you been playing?
I play a bit of Battlefront 2.
Okay, so Star Wars.
That was
Yeah.
long ago.
No, long ago. The game's still on, and it's actually pretty nice lately. They added a lot of content.
Is that the one from
Yeah, I heard about
EA
that.
with the
Yeah,
microtransactions?
it's the one. No, there's no microtransactions. That was something that they had at first, but with all the backlash that they had, they removed it, and the game has 0 microtransactions right now.
And
so you can
it
play
was
the game.
free. Yeah, and it was free on PS Plus last month. So
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to try it out, it's a nice game. Nowadays, it's nice. But yeah, and that's about it. That's what
can I ask you one thing? What did you thought about the story on Battlefront 2?
It's a bit forgettable. I mean, they try to cram everything in there. They want to introduce all the characters and, oh, look, here's Luke Skywalker. Oh, look, here's Han Solo and stuff like that. And it's a bit unwarranted.
Fan service?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just doesn't make sense to have it there. But overall, it was okay, I guess. Nothing much to it. I am very curious about another Star Wars game that's coming up, the Squadrons one, but we can talk that later on.
Yeah.
And that's it for me.
That's the part that I prefer on the Battlefront games.
Yeah.
The battleships gameplay. It was really good.
I don't like it. I actually like it, but I don't like it as much because it's very arcade-like. I want a starfighter game, and that's what we're getting with Skyward Squadrons, because that's a real X-Wing simulator game, and that's what I want. But we'll talk about that later on, I think. That's it for me. Telmo, you can present yourself to us.
Let's see. First thing, I hate movies. I have a time span of attention of 40 minutes.
This is true.
Yeah.
So you just can watch TV series in 40 minutes if it is 50, like the bigger Game of Thrones episodes.
The 1 hour
How
and
did
a
you
half.
handle?
It would take 2 days.
Joaquim had a hard time that we had to stop 2 times.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And
Okay, let's take a break.
and
Yeah.
he had to wait for me for the last 10 minutes of the episode. Because I can't. I need to walk or do something. So I don't watch movies. When I watch, need to be at home and I need to stop a lot of time. I watch a lot of anime. And my favorite series, probably no one knows, is Black Lagoon.
I know. I've heard about it.
Okay.
And I actually did see a couple of episodes, but it didn't grab me, honestly.
Yeah, that was the series that hooked me up on anime. But yeah.
Okay.
It was 3 seasons or something, and it's a bit gore. Yeah, lots of shooting and stuff. But
Gore is nice.
Always fun. And probably the only one on this group that watch One Piece at weekly basis and have to watch every episode.
I tried so many times.
Me too.
I'm still in episode 100 and something.
By the way,
I'm not able to go back to that. I'm sorry.
I would like to go back as well. I think I was in episode 600 and something, and but just had to stop. 600, yeah. But basically, because I stopped midway because the pacing at the time was just being so terrible to be watching on a weekly basis.
The pacing of that show is
they speed up everything bad. For the 20 episodes.
No, I was but before at least I had all the episodes to catch up, so I didn't have to wait for next week. But once I got to that point, I was like, no, I can't.
I don't like the pace of that One Piece show, and since I'm on the beginning, the drawings and so on, they're so old school.
Yeah, that's true.
Tough
to
it's hard to get into it. Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, let's see. Games. Yeah, probably multiplayers, first-person shooters all the time. Some sports games, FIFA or Football Manager.
Yeah.
So story games like single players, probably I like Mass Effect and Dragon Age.
What was the first one? Sorry.
Mass Effect.
Oh, Mass Effect. Yeah.
1 and 2. The third, no.
You didn't like the third one?
What do you mean? The third one was good.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the endings?
Regardless of the ending.
I usually say 5 minutes in the end don't ruin the whole experience for me.
It depends, dude.
It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, the whole game, I agree the ending was bad, but besides the ending, it was a good game. You had decisions that matter. You had losses.
It was a great game.
Yeah, it was. I agree.
And also the ending didn't bother me as much. I mean, it wasn't as impactful as it deserved to be.
But did you play the 3 with the first ending or after the update?
The patch, yeah.
Both.
I didn't even see the extended ending. Let's say, to be honest.
I saw both, but
it didn't bother me because. I mean, there were a lot of moments that I enjoyed during the game. I mean, when Tali died, it made me depressed. When
not for me.
Really?
I was able to save both Tali and Legion.
No, I chose Legion, but it was very difficult and stuff like that.
No,
that part is
but
yeah, sorry.
And
go ahead.
Who was talking?
You.
Okay. No, I was trying to remember what was the name of that doctor.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember as well. I don't remember his name. But yeah, he died as well, saving
that was a really touching moment. Exactly, that was a touching moment. Definitely.
So
many spoilers.
There were so
you
many
didn't play
things.
I tried to play. I played the first one and the second one, and I finished both of them. Second one, it was really good, I think.
Yeah, probably the first one.
I started the third one. I reached like half of the game or something like that, but I wasn't feeling it at the time, so I didn't
Okay.
go back and play. And I've waited all these years that maybe a collection would come or remastered or something
Yeah.
like that, but I don't think EA likes to make money. So
I heard
Only with
something that
microtransactions.
they were planning something for a
yeah,
remaster or something
Yeah.
like that, or it was Switch port. I don't know. I heard something.
Yeah, they
Switch
were
port will
trying
be
to do
great.
a new trilogy, but without the commander support, but with the new
Yeah,
commander. So,
Andromeda flopped, and they are a bit afraid of getting back into it again.
yeah,
I think BioWare flopped because let
Yeah,
me explain.
yeah,
They
yeah.
had like
Anthem.
Andromeda that was really bad.
Oh, okay.
Then they had Anthem that wasn't. I played a lot, just to be clear,
Me
but it
too.
didn't had any end content, so
Yeah,
it was really good in terms of
it was
gunplay and
exactly. It was a great action simulator,
yeah,
but it was an empty game.
yeah,
And
and the story was so
BioWare,
bland.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
BioWare died a bit. I have to agree there. They aren't the same that they were before.
yeah, but the expectation were too high, I believe.
Yeah,
That's
true,
true.
true, true. Let's see. We have Dragon Age coming up.
Exactly.
We may be surprised.
So,
Hopefully, yes. That's also a series that I like. I love the first one, Origins. That was like the top one in the series for me. After that was a bit downhill. Inquisition was good. Was definitely an improvement from two, but
Mhm.
still not as engaging as Origins was. Origins was
Uh,
just very special at the time for
Origins
me.
was the greatest one of all. But the second one had a problem where if you saw a cave, if you went into a cave, you had seen all the caves in the game. The
Exactly,
layout was
exactly.
exactly the
That's
same
just
every time, and for me, it took me out of the game because the story itself it
yeah,
wasn't really that bad. It was actually pretty good, but
yeah, exactly.
the way that they chose to make the layouts of the zones, they basically did one and reused everything, and it was annoying.
exactly.
Yeah. And
Um,
I thought
and
that the second one, Diogo, was also more actiony. So
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
they they
that's not bad if you want that kind of game, and I don't mind it. So that's
I
something
actually
that
I actually like that different approach. I mean, it was different, but it wasn't bad. Far from it. I actually was like, okay, I'm into it. I'm into it. Yeah, it's good. It looks good.
yeah, yeah.
It actually made. I always or most of the time choose to play as a mage, and it actually made being Dragon Age 2 um, actually made it fun or at least much more engaging for being such a more action heavy game. So I thought of it as a plus in that regard, definitely.
Exactly. But the zones itself, the world building. I mean,
Yeah,
bring a bit of creativity to the table if you want, and I believe they went ahead and tried to make that up with the Inquisition, because Inquisition you had a lot of zones and
Inquisition.
a lot of
Yeah,
the
that's
third
true.
one, a lot of
yeah.
zones, a
That's
lot
true.
of variety, so they actually know that they did something wrong. But
I
Yeah,
to
I played the first one and I really liked the first one. I think the first I didn't finish, but well, that's the problem that I have. But no, it's tough for me to finish RPGs with 80 or plus hours. So I stopped having interest in the middle of them. But
yeah,
I thought Inquisition was really good in terms of storytelling and character. Our side our or our partners on the journey were really
yeah,
well designed and so on. But and then on the second one, I didn't really like much um, that part, and I thought that like you're saying, everything looked very similar to all the zones had the same textures, the same
hmm
feeling, and so on. And then on the third one, I think the third one I played like 30 or 40 hours of it, but I didn't finish because there was a lot of side quests
Yeah.
Bioware games have a lot of
Yeah.
things to do. But the thing that upset me was that I found out later that the true ending was on one DLC. So
Yeah.
you
I've heard about that as
really,
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
you really know what happened, and the story will start. And the only way to know that it's by paying for an extra DLC. So I didn't like that move from EA/Bioware.
Actually, I finished the original game and I have the DLC, but I haven't played it yet. I've started it, but I haven't taken the time to finish it. Apparently, it connects with the next game and everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and it connects with the first one, I think. So there's
Yeah,
a
it
lot
does as well.
of connections there, and it's worth it. But yeah, I haven't played it.
If you play the
Throwback move.
DLC, you know who will be the villain of the next one. So
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
yeah. So
But
I
I
think
haven't had the time or the will, let's say.
so. I think we are just missing me to introduce, right? So
Yeah.
I'm Rafa. I'm 35 years old. I'm the oldest of this group. I have been gaming, I think, all my life. My first console, the first console that I played, it was an entertainment system. I played in the house of a friend of mine when I was like 6 or 7. And then my first real console was the SNES. So it was with Super Mario World, my favorite game of all time, still today. And I had a PC where we had like football manager tournaments. At the time, it wasn't called football management; it was championship manager. So we used together
Good
at
old
my
CM.
house. Yeah, we used together at my house, like, and we had leagues that were like 4 or 5 of us. So we used to do that on the summer because of our summer vacations. We used to create like a league. Everyone choose a team, and then
Yeah.
we played hours and hours and hours of that. So it was really cool. And then I had a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and I think I've been with PlayStation more than with Nintendo, even though now I'm back with the Switch. I think I have more nostalgia with Nintendo, even if I've had more PlayStation consoles, because Nintendo was my first console. Apart from that, I like movies and TV shows like everyone here. I like comics. I've tried always to go back to comics, but I like superhero comics. But it's so messed up everything right now. So you have like it's very difficult to to follow some stories because the universe has been blown up like 10 times and
Yeah. They like to do that a lot of times. So let's restart everything. Let's go.
I would prefer them to have the approach that Warhammer has. It's like they set up the universe and then you have individual stories with individual
Yeah, but
persons
Warhammer
there.
is even more tricky, right? Because it's fan made, isn't it?
No, it is.
There's
I don't think so.
There's books of the Black Library.
I've tried to get into Warhammer because I'm very fascinated by the lore, 40k especially.
Yeah,
But
it's really good.
I think it's so intimidating because there's so many books, so many authors, and there's fan content, and I don't know where to start. So yeah.
If you want me, I can help you. For 4K, it's the ones that I like it more. I started with Horus Heresy, so it's basically 10K
I heard
before.
yeah
10K before, so
that's the best one.
yeah.
Basically.
So you understand they are all good, so you understand how they reach to the point where you have factions that are from chaos and factions that are from the God Emperor. So it's a really good setup of the universe.
Okay.
And apart from that, I've watched anime. I've liked Dragon Ball, Naruto. I've watched Bleach. I finished, or I'm almost finishing Demon Slayer that I'm really, really enjoying. It's a really cool anime. And apart from that, I don't think I follow that much on the anime side. I have like I'm I can be like 1 2 years without seeing anime or reading manga, and then I have the need to
The
do
need.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do it
yeah,
for
same
like
thing.
1 2 3 months, and then I leave it again. So
Just
Yeah.
your information, Bleach is coming out again.
it is.
Anime.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
the one arc for just the ending
Yeah.
for something I don't know yet, but it's coming.
Is it this year or next year?
It was this year. Now I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. I still have the live action on Netflix to watch. I haven't watched yet. It's still on
Don't.
but
I don't.
Don't.
I have no opinion, but I thought the same. I mean, just don't.
but I don't
Have you
understand
met-
why, because the one with Kenshin Imura, the live actions are really good. So
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
the
I've
three
heard-
movies.
but I think those are an exception to the rule.
Yeah, that's a definitely exception. And those are very high quality, but I don't think there's anything else that is going to be made with the same
Yeah,
quality.
but have you seen those, Diogo?
I have.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I haven't. I'm saying this based on other people's opinions, but
My brother got it for us, and he's like, "Let's watch this," and I was like,
okay.
"What's this? Oh, I know this," and I was very
Yeah,
surprised because it was very good. We were like blown away how good it was.
yeah.
And just to finish, I think that I'm more now multiplayer guy. I try to play some single players, but like I said, or the single player is really good and I'm engaged, and it's a small experience. Like I really like the Uncharted games because they were like 8 to 10 hours, compact,
Mhm.
story-driven experience. So I really love those. I really like Last of Us One because it wasn't that big. I think I took like 18 hours or something like that to beat it. I beat it Final Fantasy VII. I thought that the remake one, I thought that they
Mhm.
drag a little bit the story and
I
they
agree.
put it a lot of
They did.
things in the
They did.
middle that
They did.
it
Yeah.
didn't make
But-
sense.
It was basically those open world sections.
But
that
they
dragged
had
it.
to, because if they followed the original one, the game would last 5 hours,
But-
something
yeah.
like that.
But if
So-
they did, imagine if they didn't, if they did exactly as they did, but didn't have those open world sections with the side quests, it will still be a more compelling and complete story, and it wouldn't drag as much.
Yeah,
Especially
but
considering that those areas, open
It-
world areas, were on a much more had a much less quality. Like in terms
Yeah,
of
they-
graphics
they-
quality, you
they
notice that
didn't
to be
bring much. They didn't bring much to the table. It was just basically filler. But it's
Yeah.
nice because you had a chance to face a few bosses, explore your character a bit more.
No,
try
like
to.
I enjoyed exploring it to a point,
Yeah.
but it ended up just becoming like the same thing, just like a check
I
boxes
understand
just to check, you know.
I understand. And, I see your point, but at the same time, I enjoyed it because it gave me time to play a little bit more, and I was enjoying the gameplay itself.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's fair.
yeah.
But maybe
But
it was
maybe-
definitely something that was just built because they had to fill in some time, basically.
Yeah.
But maybe you feel like that, Diogo, because you played the first one, the original
Yeah.
one. I didn't play the original one, so
did.
Yeah, me neither.
well, let me
And
explain.
yeah.
Like I was saying that I played a little bit, but I don't recall it. It was a long time ago, so I don't recall it. But and I think that the story for this one, if you don't know the facts of the first one, it's really shady and it doesn't make sense at the end. Like I
Especially
understood
the ending.
everything. I understood everything until like chapter 14 or 15, and then the last two
Yeah,
didn't make sense at all.
basically they went out and okay, do you remember the original one? Yeah, too bad, doesn't matter. Let's move on.
Yeah. And
That's
then
what they did.
But-
I had to watch spoiler casts and fan theories and so on to understand
But
what happened.
I was talking with my brother when I was playing. I was like, "This is taking so long here. I don't remember this taking so long back there, and I don't remember this thing with the ghosts. I don't remember this and that."
Yeah.
And we were discussing, that's basically new stuff that they're adding. And then the end of the game, it made sense what they're trying to do, basically.
Yeah, I actually did appreciate them taking this approach, like because everyone, I mean, not everyone knows like the small details, but everyone knows how the story goes. Everyone knows
Exactly.
about Eret and so on. And so
Exactly.
the fact that what they did was trying to take the story on a different way, and it just makes the next game just more special because no one knows what's coming now, and
From here
everyone
on,
will.
everyone's on the
Sorry?
same. From this one on, everyone's on the
Yeah.
same level. No one knows what's gonna happen.
I was just
Exactly.
going to
And-
say that the next game you have to wait like 10 years to get it. So
Yeah, just
don't
like
get
this
your
one.
hopes up.
I'm hoping it won't be
God.
that long because they have the tools now. But I think you're right.
Yeah, but
Let's
they don't
hope
have
not,
the
yeah.
story, so they'll have to.
Yeah, but let's believe, I guess. Because if I have to wait that long, then I'll probably lose interest. I don't know.
Yeah. And just to wrap up, now I think I'm more of a multiplayer guy because I have two kids, so it's easier to go do half an hour sessions and so on. So I have like 1 to 2 hours per day to play, but I don't see. Imagine a big open world. I tried with Red Dead Redemption 2. So you enter the game. I have 1 hour to play. So in 1 hour in Red Dead,
Not
you're
much.
able to do what? One side quest. So imagine
Yeah,
playing a
that's not
game,
saying
one
much.
side quest or one main quest per day. So I'm not able to do that. I know people that are able to do that. We have some other friends that are able to do that, but I lose the interest because I don't feel connected to the story by doing that one quest per day. So
Yeah,
let's see
completely understandable.
how Ghost of Tsushima will be. I really want to play that one because I love Japan. I love samurais and all that era. So really, I think I will be able to play that more than the other ones. And I know that it's around 40 hours. I think that I saw the other time.
Yeah.
The other day, it's around 40 hours to do some main quests and some side quests. So I took like 33 or 34 to beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, so it's more or less the same.
Yeah.
And basically that's it, a little bit about me. So right now we will go to the first part of our show, even though we are already recording for some time. But the idea now is for us to discuss a little bit of how was our week, what we have been playing, watching, doing, a little bit about us, and then we'll have 4 topics. Each one of us brings a topic to discuss, and we discuss it. So to start, what we've been doing this week, let's go to Telmo, that it's been more quieter today. So Telmo, what have you been playing, doing this week, my friend?
Most of the time Warzone, and like in trios, battle royale and stuff.
Have you won any match yet on Warzone? One? In what? Duos, trios?
In trios.
With friends or with
Friends, yeah, I cannot play with.
They're probably better than you, right?
Sorry?
They're probably better than you, right?
So he got carried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always normal.
And you're playing
No
on
shame
PC.
in that.
You're playing on PC, right?
Yeah, I cannot play FPS without a keyboard and a mouse. Sorry.
Old
It's
school.
impossible, and I hate the aim assist on the controllers. Doesn't make sense to me.
You can turn it off, you know.
Yeah. You can make it hardcore.
Yeah, but if I turn it off, yeah, why I don't play the mouse.
That's why I really like the gyro things from Nintendo Switch. Normally they have like the gyro controls. I don't know if you have ever tried to play a shooter with gyro controls,
haven't.
but it's really, you're able to aim faster. It's really precise. You're able to simulate like
Yeah,
the
it takes
mouse,
a couple
but
of days to
Yeah.
get used to it, yeah, but then it's
I
a
haven't
bit
gotten
better.
used to it yet. I tried it a couple of times, and I don't know. I just keep moving the console around, and then I can see the game. And I get frustrated, and I turn it off. So yeah,
it's not good for handheld. I think it's good if you have a pro controller and you're
I would
playing
say
on a
so.
desk.
Yeah, but you have some
Okay.
Yeah,
But
because you're
players
the
just
controller.
drift away with the controllers and stuff, and sometimes they're already like this.
since I usually play with
in handheld, right?
handheld, yeah. Then it
Re-
makes
in handheld, it's difficult because you're moving also the screen, so
The
it's
screen.
you're not
exactly.
able to focus on what you're doing with your hands and what is happening in the screen. But if
Now
you
you see
have
my
like
problem.
but if you have on a TV or on a monitor, since the image it's
It's static, yeah.
static, you're able to do it better, I think.
Yeah. I need to try it sometime.
Try to play Mario Kart with the gyro controls.
Actually,
you'll drift away because you're starting like this with the car.
When I got Mario Kart to the Switch, I was very confused because my car kept drifting away and I didn't know why. Then I got the options. Oh, this is it. Oh, now I see it. I still suck at it, but doesn't matter.
Good.
Actually, I'm kind of okay.
Yeah, but you had that excuse at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. See? Oh, it was this. Now I'm better. No, I'm not. Actually, I won one game, I think.
Yeah. And what happened
You
more
won one?
to you?
Yeah.
And now I'm probably catching up with the anime that are getting back because of this stuff, the pandemic stuff. And now the studios are launching the episodes again. And I normally watch 4 to 5 series per week, like one per day.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and now I'm just trying to catch up which one are launching and which are the new ones that are coming, because normally we have the schedule for the winter, summer, spring stuff, and now it's all messed up.
Anything good that you recommend that you start to see recently, or it's old like animes that you're watching, like One Piece that has like 1,000 episodes already? Or
now we have the Boruto that's with lots of fillers, 80%.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's so bad, so bad. I tried, but it's so bad.
And now Sword Art Online that is coming with the second arc of the Elite War of the Underworld.
Mm-hmm.
But it start one episode, then stopped because of the pandemic. Then they announced it again, and then stopped, and now announced it again. So just waiting to see the last like 4 episodes.
Yeah, I really like Demon Slayer because it was 26, I think, episodes, and it was done. Now I know that they will come back for a second series, or maybe they have the movie, and then there is in discussion the second series. But it's good because it's concise. It's not like the old way that they used to do, like with One Piece and so on. But I think that they are changing the way that they are setting up these new animes, like with seasons. I think it was Attack on Titan that had like 4 or 5 seasons, and I think it will end after the next season.
It go for the 5th now.
Yeah, and I think it's the last one. I've heard somewhere, or somewhere it's the last one. So I really like this new way that it's more similar to a TV show that we watch than the old way that we have.
even
Doesn't
TV
drag as
shows.
much.
Even TV shows, sometimes they take too long with their 24, 22 episodes. And even those, they are trying to cut it down to 13, which is the best because you don't have any time wasted.
Exactly.
It's mostly story episodes, and that's the best thing in my mind.
Yeah, but now animes are launching a new stuff that's the course that are 12, 13 episodes. Then they stop for one season. Like they launch in spring, they stop the summer, then launch in the autumn.
Yeah.
Just the second part. So it gets dull here, but it is not so dense that people start losing interest.
Yeah.
So
I think the perfect model for me it's the Netflix one. It's 10 episodes. Normally you don't have fillers. In some series you have, I think, even in Netflix shows, there are some shows that could be like 8 episodes.
You have one episode that's a filler. It's but that's acceptable. When you have 24, at least 12 of those will be fillers, and it's just not worth it. You can take a look, for example, on the DC series, Flash and stuff like that. A lot of the episodes are fillers. They don't matter.
Exactly.
Good. We have to be real. The DC series from CW are not that good.
They aren't. They are entertainable, let's say, but they aren't really good.
Watchable.
And I agree. There's good moments, there's good episodes, but overall, not the best thing ever.
I'm still watching Flash, but
it's
just
Flash,
because I have to see something on the TV.
You want to finish.
I watch Arrow, I watch Batwoman, I watch Supergirl, I watch all of those. And
Arrow is still up.
Arrow just finished this year.
No,
but if you compare those with the DC ones, the new ones, Titans and Stargirl and Doom Patrol, there's way more quality in the new ones than in the ones from CW.
Yeah. I've stopped watching. I think I didn't like most of the ones that you were talking about. I tried to watch like 1 or 2 episodes, but I think I have like superheroes fatigue because you have like all the Marvel series and all the Marvel movies and on all the DC series and all the DC movies. So we have a lot of superheroes things that I've just been focusing on the movies right now, and I stopped watching all the TV series related with both.
Yeah, I understand that, and I sympathize because it's normal for that to happen. To be honest, but never mind. Actually, the DC. I like the DC universe. I think they have the potential to have very good shows, very good movies, but no one is taking advantage of it.
Exactly,
and it makes me very sad.
Because no one is wanting to take the risk, and they just take the direction of each TV show almost exactly the same path.
Exactly.
And that's why it makes it so repetitive and eventually boring.
It's just don't want to ruin the formula. If it works,
but that's the thing. One of the TV show or a superhero TV show that I absolutely loved, and it's probably my favorite of them all. Is definitely Daredevil from Netflix, which was it was so at the time it was actually refreshing to see something like that taking a serious approach in storytelling, I was absolutely crushed to see it being cancelled along with the other TV shows. But that's definitely one that actually got it right and was definitely great. Not as a superhero TV show, but as an actual TV show. Very good storytelling there.
It was.
And action scenes as well.
It definitely
I thought that the first season was the best for me of the ones that I watched. I thought that the second was some down. It wasn't perfect in my opinion, but there was some episodes on that I didn't like it.
I didn't like Elektra, to be honest.
Me neither.
It was the actress. I think didn't fit. But yeah,
I think
And
it was
then the third
story.
one. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was the story, not the actress herself, but the story involving Elektra and the Hand. Just the fact that they are trying to make a conflict between Daredevil and a group of enemies, and we don't actually know much about them, just makes it less engaging.
yeah,
Especially when we just got out of a confrontation between him and the Punisher, which is excellent in my
it was
opinion.
awesome. Yeah,
It was, yes, definitely. Uh, it just makes it more a little bit disappointing when we reach to that point in the season 2 with Electra and the Hand. Just I agree on that one. Definitely the weakest part of the whole series, actually. Yeah.
For me, it was. I think I really like Fisk as a villain. I think it was really
Who?
well. Fisk, the
Fisk. Yeah.
as a
Kingpin.
villain. I think it was really well done on the first
Definitely.
season and then on the third one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that I enjoyed more those two because of the villain itself. Because I think Fisk it's a really good villain, even in the comics or in the kids shows that I used to watch, like Spider-Man and so on. He used to appear, and I really like him as a villain. In terms of Marvel versus DC, I think I definitely prefer Marvel heroes, but I prefer the DC villains. So I think in terms of villains, I think DC has a bunch of good and solid villains. And then in terms of superheroes, I like Flash, I like Arrow, I think I like Aquaman and
DC. In my mind, DC has the better universe overall. They have a lot of potential there, but no one is taking advantage of it.
In terms of main characters, I agree with you, but in terms of side characters,
you have a lot that you don't even know about. I don't even know about, and I try to read as much as I can. There's I'm as I said, I was watching Doom Patrol. I am watching Doom Patrol, and those heroes are like B heroes at best, and they are fabulous. I mean, it's just fantastic what they did with that, and no one knows about it. Basically, it's just so weird how they are.
But if you think about Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy were B heroes, and they are also awesome.
Yeah.
Think like which
they are the thing about Marvel is that they are a bit more not most of them, but some of them are a bit more grounded. Let's say they are not weird.
Many DC heroes are like gods compared to Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, you have gods. It's the new gods and the old gods and stuff like that.
Basically, the DC background are a bit sketchy, and Marvel too.
Yeah, you just have to look at the main DC hero, Superman. I mean, that says everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Literal God walking among men.
Yeah, I don't agree with you guys. Just one thing. I think DC has more heroes that don't have powers than Marvel has. So you have Batman. Batman doesn't have powers. You have Arrow. Arrow doesn't have powers. You have all the Arrow universe. No one has powers. Or most of the guys
Canary does, for example.
Yeah, but most of them don't have powers. So
they have money. Always money.
In Marvel, I just remember Iron Man. I think it's the only one that doesn't have powers. It has all the technology.
There's more.
You have Hawkeye as well.
Hawkeye doesn't have. Black Widow doesn't have. From the Guardians, none of them have powers as well.
Captain America just has super strength.
That's a power. I mean, it is.
Power.
I mean, that's a power. I mean,
okay, but
look, Superman. Superman has super strength, fly, and everything, but super strength alone is enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Who else do we got from DC? Marvel, sorry.
I mean,
you had
we're talking about it, Daredevil, and if you're looking to be heroes,
exactly. Punisher, War Machine, etc. You have a lot of them that don't have powers.
Yeah, Punisher has to have powers, man. Have you seen the last season of Punisher on Netflix? Or the first one?
I didn't see it, actually.
He's just a badass. That's all he is. And I'm saying that very lightly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just, he's a badass.
he survived, like he fought alone with like 50 guys and he survived. So
that's just Sunday for him.
yeah.
Not even a weekday.
Yeah.
On the rest.
But let's go back on track. If Telmo, have you finished?
Yeah, basically multiplayers and catching up on anime. So that's my way.
So Joaquim, back to you.
Yes. This past week, I've been continuing my second playthrough for The Last of Us Part 2. And
you are going to upload that on the channel, right? On the
yes,
YouTube
exactly.
channel.
I've only started streaming a bit midway into the story, so I didn't start from the beginning of the playthrough. But yes, that's correct. And when it comes to games, to gaming, I think that's basically it. I've actually started reading, come back to reading. I usually, I don't think I said this in the beginning. I usually read more fantasy stuff, but I stopped for reading for a while, and now I came back into reading a book that I've always wanted to read at some point, which is a book talking about Buddhism and their way of life and their way of thinking, which I've always had an interest, because it's such a different mindset and much more peaceful way of thinking, I believe. And yeah, that's basically why I picked it up. And I think that is it for me.
I think we definitely should do like a topic in the future when you finish the book, because I've been to Sri Lanka and into Japan, so they have some connection with the Buddhism and so on. So it's really something that I want to know more, that I don't know, and it's really different from our way of thinking, I think. So
exactly.
It will be really good when you finish the book. You could give like review / comments on good things that they do, or things that you thought that were so different from the way that we think, that we could have like a discussion not related with gaming or with nerd culture or something like that, but that could give us some insight of other stuff.
Yeah, definitely agree. Yeah.
Diogo.
Yeah, well, past week I've been playing, as you know, Path of Exile. I've been exploring the league. They actually made a few fixes that made it more enjoyable. They buffed a few drop rates, so we are allowed to play more with the new functionalities. So it's a bit more interesting, and I've been trying to craft my own gear and improve my own character. It's working very fine, I should say. Then I tried to start a new character, which I didn't like. It wasn't the first time that it happened. It happens rarely, but it does happen.
How many classes you have in Path of Exile?
You have, I want to say 6, but then inside of each one you have 3 more subclasses, let's say. But it really doesn't matter, because you can build whatever you want with however you want. It's just a matter of making a tree for it. And
it
this
is free,
one that
free to play, right? Or it's not
100%. I don't recommend it playing it if you want to do it seriously. It's not a good experience as free to play, because you'll have very limited space, and it's very troublesome to managing it all. But it's possible to play. Okay, I've played it for a long time, but then I took the jump to buying some some points, and then some stash inventory, and my life was a lot easier.
I was asking because I think I saw available on PS4 to download. That's why I was asking. Yeah, and it's cross-play again, PC or
no, it wouldn't work. The economies are too different, and it just wouldn't work. Someone would not have a good experience. But as I was saying, I built a new character and I tried it out. It worked fine. It can clear contents, but there's one thing that it has that I don't like, which is it's very slow. It's very slow attacking, and I like a fast gameplay. So yeah, it was an experiment that it didn't go okay. Yeah, and that's what I've been playing. Oh, I've also played a bit of Diablo 3 with my brother. He gave me a small boost because I was too lazy to level, so he went ahead and boosted me. But yeah, that's it. I've been watching the DC shows as I said. I saw Stargirl, the latest episodes, and Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol was very touching. They developed a bit one of the characters that we didn't really know about, and it was a bit emotional because he was betrayed by his own family and stuff like that. So it's hard to see. Yeah, it's just you wouldn't really know without seeing it, so that's not a problem.
Yeah. But someone that's hearing us could.
Nah, it's okay. There's too many characters. Trust me on this. What else? Yeah, I've been reading the last book of the Malazan series. I'm a quarter through. I'm feeling a bit sad because it's almost over, and I'm gonna lose my friends that I've grown attached to.
How many books?
It's 10 main books, and there's a bunch of short novels and stuff like that.
But have you read only you're in the 10th book, or you're reading the short stories also?
I'm in the 10th book. Okay. I'm considering whether I should take the plunge into the short stories or not, because there's a lot of them actually, and it's a challenge because I also want to start a new saga after this one. So I don't know what I'll do. I'll think about it. And I know that the author is releasing a new short stories in this universe with one character that I loved. So I think I'll wait for those and read those when they go out. But anyway, I'm almost finished with that. I'm quarter of way through. The ending is hitting me in all the right spots so far. But yeah, and that's about it. That has been my week.
Okay.
So I think.
What about you, Rafael?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the final one again. So this week I've been playing 2 roguelikes. It's one of the genres that I really like also because you're able to do like 2-3 games and then turn off your console. So I've been playing Dead Cells. I've already beaten on normal mode on Switch, but now I've beat also on PS4, and now I'm grinding 1 BC. That means 1 boss cell. So I'm grinding the first one, and to get to the true ending, you need to beat it in 5 BC. So I have to beat it in 1 BC, then I will have to do in 2 BC, 3 BC, 4 BC, and then 5 BC to get the true ending.
What a farm.
Yeah, I'm doing farm runs on Dead Cells, so I need to grind for flasks, weapons, unlock weapons, and so on to get a better gear, so I can easily beat it 1 BC on stream. I think I will do it in next week or on the other week. I will try to beat it again. I tried last week on stream, but I wasn't able to beat the first boss, so I died on the first boss. And apart from that, I've been playing Children of Morta, also on stream. So
do you like Children of Morta? Is it worth it?
Yeah, I think, but my opinion so far is I really like because it has the one narrator, so you have one guy that it's telling the story and it's really good. So it's voice act, and it's in a way that. Have you ever played Diogo Darkest Dungeon?
I did. And
do you know the guy that narrates Darkest? It's similar to that. It's not the same voice actor I went to see, and it's not the same, but it's similar to that, but on Children of Morta. So I really like that aspect. I think I said on the stream, Dead Cells, it's more focused on gameplay, I think Children of Morta, it's more focused on story. So
Mhm.
the actual fighting and so on, it's not that deep. So it's easier to do the fights. And I didn't like how you reached to the boss, and the difficult spike was too different from the ones that you have during the run. So during the run, every enemy was so easy to be was able to dodge and so on. Then I reached to the boss, and it was like 10 levels different from the ones that I faced previously. So didn't like that.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah. And I think it was on purpose, so you could die the first time you try it. So because after I died, I've unlocked more stuff and so on, like Bloodborne and Souls games usually do.
Okay.
I think it was something like that.
Okay.
That's what is happening on the gaming side. I've been also trying to play NBA 2K20. It was free on PS Plus this month. I really like NBA to watch, but I'm really bad playing. So it's really too real. So it's not arcade and so on. So I don't have the knowledge or the concepts on how NBA works in terms of movement and so on. Yeah. So
I bought the Switch version and the tactics and stuff. You just need to know everything, and the controls. It's so annoying.
Yeah. So I'm used to playing FIFA, and that I'm comfortable on because I've been playing like since FIFA 1998. Yeah, I'm old. I know. But NBA is it's something that I used to play. One game that was related with the Space Jam movie that I really liked it when I was a kid. There was a Space Jam game, and it was really fun because you could play with the monsters or with the Looney Tunes. But get back into where I was. So I tried NBA 2K. I didn't like it. I have already uninstalled on my PS4. And apart from that, I've been just playing Fortnite and Rocket League. I have both battle passes, so I have to go there to do the weekly challenges just to feel that since I invest money, I have my money back with skins and emotes and so on. That it's just cosmetics. I don't know why, but I think the battle pass mode really works with me because it gives you a purpose to go back to the game every week. So I know that I will have challenge to do. Then I will learn more XP and I will lock more stuff on the battle pass. So that cadence, it's something that I really like. And on the other stuff, I've not been watching much. I've been watching the Miyazaki movies on Netflix. I've watched Lupin.
Haven't watched that one, honestly.
The Castle of Cagliari something.
Castle in the Sky.
No. It's if you search for Lupin on it was the first Miyazaki movie. It was from 1979.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying another movie. Yeah, okay, I know what you mean. Oh, what movie you mean? Yeah.
So I've seen that one and it was fun to watch. I watched with my wife, and we have all the other ones to start watching. So I will do that. And
you've never seen any one of those?
No. I never seen any of those. She has saw like 6 or 7 of those ones, so she already knows some of the stories.
Okay.
But we will go through all of them. And that's it from my side. So now I think it was the time that we'll go to the topics, and we'll take a short break to drink some water and so on, and we'll get back to you guys with the 4 topics that we have for this week. See you in 5 minutes.
Okay.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back to the second part of our first episode, everyone. So, on the first part, we have discussed a little bit about us. So, we have considered that our first topic because it was too long. So, now we will go to our second topic. Joaquim, what do you want to discuss today?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Again, I thought it would be it's a great time to discuss Ubisoft's event from this week, in which, in my opinion, there were three highlights that I would like to point out, which are Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the new Far Cry 6. Now, starting from with Watch Dogs, for me, it was actually a very, very positive surprise. Because I watched the first trailer a few years back. I don't know if it was 2018 or 19 that they showed it, and I wasn't really convinced. I didn't like the change from their move from changing from controlling one character and showing their side of the story to a broader approach and just giving you the player the control of the whole group. I thought it wasn't going to be very interesting on the story perspective. But after seeing this last trailer, the gameplay and such, showing all the variety and all the gameplay approaches that you can take in multiple missions, I was very convinced there, very convinced. And also the diversity and the quality of the combat and gunplay animations was a detail that I was very, very pleasantly surprised. Yeah. So
I think
very good props to there.
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
The great challenge is how to pull everything that they are promising and keeping as engaging as it seems like during the trailers. So Ubisoft is very good on creating great trailers when everything seems to be working fine and everything it's just amazing and it seems like a good experience. I remember the first trailers of Division 1 when they had like the the communications. Now you shoot that one and now you shoot that, but we know that is not how it happens on real life. So after watching the trailer, I agree with you. I think it was a really good trailer. They showed a lot about the game, and I was interested on it. But I'm just doubtful that they will pull off everything as they showed in the trailer, and that experience is what we get from the beginning of the game until the end of the game, and it doesn't seem repetitive. So that's my only concern about it.
We need more information, more gameplay trailer instead of just showing off certain key aspects of the game to make it to sell it a bit more. But I agree with you guys. It was very interesting. It was very nice to see. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, but for a single player, it seems it lost a bit of the background and is more focused on action. So it'll be fun to play, but not as Watch Dogs 2. So I believe they are going in a way that it's not what they initially concepted for in the first Watch Dogs.
Yeah, but I think I think they're changing the direction of it. Yeah, I agree there. I think story-wise, it won't be as interesting. I would say, at least based on what we've seen so far. But I think it will be different enough to justify them taking this new approach. It's something, at least it's something new that they're trying on. And I've been hearing some other opinions from people that got to actually experience the game. I think for 3 hours or something like that, and they were also the opinions were very positive as well. They had the same doubts that regarding how long will they be able to keep the interest and investments of the players in the game. But that so far during those 3 hours, they had lots of fun playing it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good to know.
Yeah. My concern is how the story will fit everything that you are able to do in the game. So
yeah,
I think for when you play only 3 hours, it seems like a good amount of time to recruit one guy, do his side quest, or like they explained their quest to convince them to recruit, and try that mechanic with a different one. But how will the game loop and how the game moment to moment with the story will happen with that mechanic, if it's only that mechanic that we'll have, or if we'll have more things to do in the game besides that specific mechanic. That's the part that I'm more interested on to see, and to see if that's good enough, or if they are just having this thing as their main flagship of this game.
I think honestly, from what we've seen so far, I think, as you said, that the gameplay loop will be purely based on you recruit guys, you do story missions, and then you need more guys to progress with the story. Probably, I can see that being the loop. And with recruiting more guys, you need to do more side missions to have them. And I can see that, and I can see that the way they can keep it refreshing for the player is to actually implement new ways, new different ways to play as each character differently, which was what we've seen that they've shown in the game. So if they are able to do that in a good way, I think it'd be very impressive especially on a game design perspective. Like, that's very difficult to pull off.
Yeah.
So, but it will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Go,
Diogo.
so
you were saying
next
you were
one.
saying you were going to say something, Diogo?
No. I was just agreeing with Joaquim. I mean, it's not an easy feat to actually accomplish what they aim to do.
Yeah, it just to finalize, I will be very quickly. It gave me the Nemesis systems. I don't know if you all played Murder.
Yeah.
So it gave me the Nemesis systems vibe. So it was something that was different from what we were used to. That if it is correctly implemented, like it was on the Shadow of Murder, it will be really good to see, and it will change a little bit the same mechanics that we see in every open world game.
Yeah, definitely agree. Okay, so next one would be Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This one, I don't know if you guys heard what's going on.
I'm really. This is a really good year because I have two things that I really like: Japan and Vikings. So this year I have Ghosts and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
That's really good.
2020 is your year then. Okay, so going back to Valhalla. For this one, I don't know if you guys heard or seen, but before Ubisoft Forward this week, there was a gameplay leak for Valhalla, and I saw it. It was like a 30-minute playthrough of the demo that some people got to play this week. And I got very worried. I got kind of turned off by it because it seems so similar to Odyssey. I've seen just some clips of it. Like I went skipping through the video, just waiting for something new. And I don't know if you guys played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I know you, Rafael, did. You did play a bit of it, but it seemed very just too similar, just with a Viking skin all over it, and that was it. But then I saw the trailers for that Ubisoft did release with a bunch more features and much more graphical quality, let's say. And I was very relieved that the game didn't did show something new and didn't just seem like a ripoff of Odyssey. And they got got me more hyped up. I was already hyped up because I already love Assassin's Creed. I even got to read some of the books, but and so it's a series that I'm very invested. I've been invested for quite some years, but and I got very happy seeing this trailer. Like and I still want to see like how the settlement mechanic will work in the game. Like how we'll see them expand and what you need to do with them. And speaking of Shadow of Mordor, Rafael, Valhalla also seems to be borrowing some of the mechanics. Like now regarding Shadow of War, I don't know if you played it.
No, I only played a little bit of the Shadow, a little bit the first map, because then in the end of the first map you gain access to the second one, and I thought, woo. I took so much time doing the first part that I thought I was getting to the end of the game, and then they showed me a new map, completely new. Yeah.
You got a lot more to do.
Yeah,
I actually was happy seeing that. I was like, oh yes, a new
more
map.
game for me.
And it was like lots of vegetation and such. It was which is something that I like a lot in video games. So I was happy to see that. But in Shadow of War, I don't know if you guys are aware about, but they changed a bit in how you get to explore the world, and you basically need to, when you go to a new zone, you need to end up conquering that zone through like these epic battles and such to overthrow the king of that zone, basically. And they're doing the same. They're applying the same mechanic in Valhalla, and the way the confrontations were working at least seemed to be more dynamic than Shadow of War, which was good because Shadow of War ended up being a bit repetitive on that side. So yeah, it seems to be implementing lots of cool mechanics that at least will keep us entertained. I don't know about the story yet, and I don't know, and I was a bit concerned about the facial animations. They were a bit sketchy. But
yeah, they weren't good. They weren't good.
Yeah. In honesty, they were honestly mediocre at best. But so here,
in these conferences, you are not seeing the latest version of the game, so I'm expecting.
No, you're not. You're not.
There's a lot more work there to be done. That was done already, and more work to be done before it's released. So hopefully, we'll have proper animations and everything else when it's released.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. But yeah, those were pretty much my thoughts on the game. Did you guys get to see it?
I did. I haven't played any of the new ones. I only played the second Assassin's Creed a long time ago. But for this one, I'm actually kind of excited, and I'm even considering starting the older ones, at least Origins and Odyssey, to get in the mood. But I was very intrigued because, as Rafael said, Vikings is very nice. I mean, what's not to like about a bunch of barbarian Scandinavian guys raiding and pillaging everything? So yeah. I'm pretty excited for that.
And we have since we all have been there to Denmark, there is like a feeling of home.
But these are Norwegian. these are proper Vikings. These are Norwegian Vikings.
I know, but they're I know, but
close enough. It's close enough.
Close enough, yeah, I guess.
But we have seen the vibe of the Nordics, so that's why I think we are also related to that.
I saw them partying in a tent full of beer and heavy metal music. So I just have to go back 1,000 years, and now I'll know how it is.
Yeah. A normal Thursday.
What?
A normal Thursday there.
Yeah.
Normal Thursday. Which, by the way, you talk about music. You will be able to do some Viking rap battles in Valhalla. Which I don't know how that will be, but I'm sure it'll be awesome. And so and last but not least, Far Cry 6. Now we didn't get any gameplay for this one, but we already knew it was coming. I think it was also leaked.
Yeah. It was.
However,
it always happened with the Ubisoft games. So I don't know
yeah, it does. It does.
what they do, but
I think that maybe they do it on purpose, like
yeah.
just to get people excited or talking about it. But honestly, this for me, this was my favorite moment in the conference. Like the trailer itself, it was just a cinematic trailer. It's no gameplay, nothing whatsoever. But it got me engaged in such a way. I was like my face glued to the screen from beginning to end. Like the whole direction they took here, with the Anton, which is the guy who plays Gus in Breaking Bad, which is a phenomenal actor. The way he manipulates his son, I presume, Diego, um, while Diego is holding his grenade, and it's already a tense moment for that detail alone. It just felt gripping all the way through, and it was a very good experience and a very good way to end the conference there. They did though release some images with some gameplay pictures, which were looking good, at least on the graphical standards, but not many. But they didn't really show gameplay features, so not much talking there. But definitely a very high highlight in the conference.
Yeah, that cinematic was pretty fantastic. Even without any gameplay, I mean, it was. I guess the hype factor for this one is being over the roof, just by that cinematic alone, I think.
Yeah, but normal Far Cry Far Cry games always bring new stuff, different takes, and the animations they normally have something new. For example, since the Far Cry 1 or 2 or something, the part of the animation of fire animation, they were the first one to basically you can burn the whole world.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Like the fire would spread throughout the whole forest.
And
that was a very cool. Yeah.
Related with the story, the last Far Cry's have been what can I say, political, because all of the last ones have been with topics that are not that simple. They have all these things related with political stuff. I remember the poster of Far Cry 4. They had a lot of critics.
Because
and then Far Cry 5, the relation with God and the culture and all that. I remember reading a lot of news that it was also they had a lot of critics with that, and this one seems to go to the South American dictators that we have seen in the past few years, and it seems that they are focusing on that will also cause for sure political setbacks to the game. In terms of graphics, I agree with you all. I think it was the best one of the conference for sure. In terms of facial animation, in terms of everything. The only downside for me it was that they didn't show any gameplay. So and I've been burned by Ubisoft showing really nice trailers in the beginning. I always remember the first Watch Dogs gameplay that we saw. It was really, really amazing. And then when we got the game, it didn't look the same way.
Yeah.
I remember seeing some YouTube videos where they compare and contrast both of them, and it was really a downgrade graphic at the time. So I'm always a little bit afraid of only cinematic trailers from Ubisoft.
Well, you need all the game companies do cinematic, and you need to expect that it will exist a downgrade always.
Yep,
because it's the beginning, and then when they finish, okay, it's open world. Now we need to downgrade, or you need to buy a $4,000 computer or something.
I think that sometimes they use a high-end lab PC, and then it's almost impossible for the common human to get that PC. So and then you have consoles that don't have the same power that
but
you have on PCs.
The graphical aspect,
yeah,
to get the hype.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, which is it's a fair move, but from a business perspective, but yeah, not very. It's a little bit
Blizzard that did worse, that they created a really cinematic, not and said it was in-game footage, but it wasn't.
Okay.
Probably World of Warcraft or something.
Yeah. And Joaquim, do you? I want to add a new other highlight of the conference that you didn't mention.
Go ahead.
That was Hyper Escape. That's the Battle Royale style game from Ubisoft. That they have an open beta that it's happening right now for PC players around the world. I haven't seen much about it, but it seems that they have like cool new ideas. But I think the genre is a little bit overcrowded right now.
I agree.
You have Apex, you have Warzone, you have Fortnite, all of that, and I think they are late to the game, so I don't think they will have much success. But since it's a free-to-play, you never know. But I like the movement speed and the movement verticality that you had in the game. So it's not static to the ground. You can just do crazy stuff. So it's one of the ones that I will try as soon as we get it on PS4. And I don't know what you guys thought about another.
I was just going to say that regarding hyperspace, I didn't mention it as a highlight because I'm not much of a battle royale kind of guy. But as you mentioned, something that did caught my eye during that gameplay trailer was indeed the fact the whole quick movement view is very fast paced, which I very much enjoy in most games. So that was definitely a plus, and it was indeed different than most battle royale games that we have out there. So I gotta give them props for that, definitely. But other than that, I don't recall any.
It's this game is a feel of like Apex mixed with Warzone because of the verticality of Apex, but the type of gameplay is fast as Warzone. So basically, they are trying to get the last part of Battle Royale fans. So
basically, since they're a bit late, the party, they're trying to mix it up and see if it works.
Yeah, but the genre is getting. They need to switch. Basically. Yeah, the companies will need to switch soon because they cannot do anything else about this.
Yeah.
But Fortnite is doing something very interesting though. Like the way they're extending the game to be like a venue for actual concerts for artists. It's something that we've actually never seen before. It's definitely different, and it's kind of a new way to experience these kinds of shows. And it's very interesting to see like the appeal of it. And
I think they have done one thing also that it's out of the box. Their live events, it's something that you weren't used to have on games. So right now, I think Destiny 2 has done one recently. I think it was a few months back. But it's so common for Fortnite to have a live event at a specific hour where a story beat or something in the game change completely the map or change or give you a little bit more about the lore. Okay, so I think that it's something that they're really good at right now.
Definitely.
For example, the game was down for 3 days because of the lore.
Yeah.
couldn't enter the game. That was a good move because someone what's going on, and then when you open one day the map is completely different, and you have the lore, and
I didn't know. No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that they are really good at creating those live events. I went to the last one, where we have now the season of Aquaman, and they have flooded all the map and so on. And I went to the last one and watched it live in game, and it's a really cool experience.
Yeah, but they're working on the live event, on the lore, but the gameplay, they didn't change much.
No. It is what it is, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, well, it's not for you.
Don't play it.
There's other games for you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't like the game. I tried it before, and it's not for me, basically.
But you are not the multiplayer guy, Diogo.
I am.
You cannot,
just not all of them.
You cannot play a FPS. No, FPS with build together.
No, but
it's impossible for you.
Yeah,
I told you before. I like FPS. I'm bad at them, but I like them.
That's fair. Yeah. But the Fortnite really did turn me off with the building mechanic. I don't know. I didn't play it as much long enough to actually learn it, but I didn't grab me, honestly. But okay.
Just to finalize, I want to highlight one thing that it really confused me. It's why Ubisoft has Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs like 2 weeks apart from each other.
I have no idea. I don't know how bad or how good of a move it is. I don't know if it's like I don't know, like if they've seen the pre-orders for Watch Dogs is not too high and they're trying to compete. I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're. I mean, kind of. I was going to say I don't think they're going for the same audience because of such different settings and such. But yeah, it's a very strange move from their side. I don't know, or maybe I was going to say maybe it was because also of COVID virus that maybe they were going to release Watch Dogs earlier, let's say, but they weren't able to because of the whole current situation. Maybe it's also a possible situation.
That's a bit more likely because even though the games are different types, not types, stories and settings, they are very similar. I mean, it's both open worlds and exploration and mission types.
That's true.
So they will be competing with themselves a little bit, I think. So I don't know how much of a smart move it is. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was the pandemic that caused it to be delayed and then forced them to release them on that date.
And maybe they just need cash flow because
that's likely as well.
But but like the cash flow,
it was Telmo.
I don't think it was Telmo. No, I don't think they will get much cash flow from this move because there are people who can only buy one game in every few weeks or something, and maybe they will choose to buy Watch Dogs and not Assassin's Creed. But if they release Watch Dogs in September, for instance, then they will be able to buy Assassin's Creed at launch.
I think there is two things that they are behind this. This move remember me a lot. The move that we saw by EA like 2 or 3 years ago when they launched Battlefield and
Titanfall
2 like 2 weeks apart, and Call of Duty was in the middle. So I didn't get it at the time. But I think that Ubisoft has done that because of their investors. Because I remember reading a news piece where they told the investors that they will launch like 6 games until the end of the fiscal year, and Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed were two of them. So I think that's why. But I think they would gain more by having one in September, end of September, and having one in the November or something like that, more spread out during the winter period.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, I mean, now we just have to wait and see. Maybe it works for them and they get the profit they want. But let's see. I'm not confident it will go okay. But yeah.
Okay, Diogo, do you want to bring us the third topic?
Yes, I can. Well, it's something that's been on my mind on and off a few times in regards to today's games and entertainment that we have. That in my mind, and I don't know, I want to bring this to discussion so you can also give your opinion. In my mind, things are being simplified too much. I don't know if it's because of trying to adapt the games to consoles, and I think in my mind it also has to do a little bit with that. But there are certain systems and games that don't have the complexity that I would expect them to have. I can recall that, for example, the difference between I'm going to use an example that it's close to me. Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, there was a huge dumbing down between the games because Diablo 2 had a bit complexity of the builds and what you wanted to do with your gear. Not after the expansion, but that doesn't matter. Let's not consider that right now, but you had choices to make and gear decisions to consider when creating a character. But then Diablo 3 came and simplified everything. Basically, you had one set, you used it or not, and you could change the skills at will, and you didn't have any need to think or theorycraft about it. And after playing games for a long time, that's one of the things I love to do most. It's getting into a game and trying to min-max, trying to make it as efficient as I can, and trying to understand the systems behind it. And there are games that just don't pull into it. I also remember, for example, Destiny 2. I played it a little bit, and I was actually enjoying the game very, very much. But then midway through, I was like, okay, this game has no depth to the system. I don't know at the end of the game. I didn't reach the end game, so that's something that could change. But basically, all I looked was at the power level of an item. If it was a bigger one, I would use it. If it wasn't, I wouldn't. Simple as that. And at the same time, since we were talking about Ubisoft, Division 2 released. And Division 2 had a whole different system, which, although it was more complex, it wasn't really good because it was very random based. So it was something that bothered me a bit, that we could go for a complex system to something that it's just, okay, higher number, good. Lower number, doesn't matter.
But Diogo, can I just ask one thing for you,
Yes.
just to stretch everything that you want us to discuss on this topic? You're only talking about stats, or you're talking about also difficulty in the game?
Everything. Okay. Even, for example, World of Warcraft. It got dumbed down to the point that there are content that you can do alone or with the people not working for it, let's say. I mean, there are games that used to be hard and aren't anymore. That's my main concern here. Not only about min-maxing yourself, but overall the mechanics and everything included. You understand?
Yeah, World of Warcraft didn't have, for example, the mission helpers, everything. Now, yeah, and then it was created a mod, I believe, or something for the game. And now it's like in the game itself, made by the developers of the game, and you can go from level 1 to 60 in a few days or maybe one day, depending how hardcore you are. And before you had to take weeks and play together and stuff.
Exactly. For example, Final Fantasy. I played recently. I was a bit worried that the original system, the materia system that we had back in the game, would be lost because it was actually a very nice system to have, and it made using it correctly made the game easier. Not using it correctly made the game difficult. Okay, and the game itself was difficult, but if you use the systems correctly, if you min-maxed your character, everything would be better. And I was afraid that the remake would lose that magic, and it did a little bit, but with that the material that we had to link elementals and stuff like that, it made it interesting as well. So and if you used it correctly on some bosses, the bosses would be easy mode, and if not, you would suffer. And I did. Then I tried the boss again using my gear correctly, and it was very easy. And basically, it builds up. The systems build upon each other. Not only the game is easier if you do it correctly, and nowadays games are being built that you don't have to worry as much. In my mind, at least.
Yeah.
On the 90s.
Who wants to be the first to tackle this?
I can go. No, go for it, Tom.
No, go tell me. Okay. You have been the one that spoke less, so
exactly.
First, Assassin's Creed franchise is not my thing. That's why I didn't spoke about that. Second, Ubisoft Forward didn't talk about Gods and Monsters, and I'm on a fantasy league of games, and that is my main game, and it's not in there. But Ubisoft Forward will have a second one this year still, so I'm hoping about that.
You're gonna
lose. December 31, the game will be on, I hope. And about the dumbing down games. Before, on the probably 90s, beginning of 2000 something, you had more hardcore gamers. And to have those guys and girls focused on the games, we had to have complex systems. Now, everyone can play a game, and you need to be casual because you lose interest fast.
Yeah.
If you take too much to reach max level. And
that's my view as well. I think it's basically a time versus effort thing.
Do you think it's a time versus effort? I think. Sorry to interrupt you. I think the first reason it's because games are now mainstream, and everything that reached the mainstream status, to reach there, you have to compromise something. So
you have to make it accessible.
Yeah, exactly. So to be accessible, you need to have systems that work for everyone. So if you have why Bloodborne or Dark Souls or those games are not played and are not games that it's for everyone? It's because they need time investment. You need to get good. There's no way, there's no workaround. There is workarounds because you can just level up your character until the point that you just beat it because you're super high level.
Even if you do that, you are still learning. You are still gaining experience and getting good, basically.
Yeah, but for example, Dark Souls, probably most of the people on the first two levels gave up. First, because you lost 2 or 3 keyboards or mouse. That's the first. And it's okay. The game is too difficult. I don't care. It's too much effort for this, and it will take too much time for me.
I think there is not. It's because it's too difficult. It's because the game doesn't explain you anything. Because I have some friends that I sit it with them and they explain everything related with Dark Souls, and then they got into it and understand it. But the first time they tried, because you don't have a menu saying that you have to press X to do this, you have to press R1 to do this, you have to press scroll circle to roll, and all of that. The game doesn't explain you nothing related with the game mechanics. You have to find out by yourself, and that's, I think, it's the challenging part about those games, because if you sit down and explain what you need to do, what is the game loop, and so on, I think you would have more people playing those games.
I mean, you're right. I mean, of course, it doesn't explain, and it would help. But even so, it's not a game that has particularly complex systems behind the basic gameplay loop. I mean, it's a complex game. Don't get me wrong, because of all the exploration and the dying and the memorizing the moves. But in itself, the controls are not really particularly hard. I mean, it's just a matter of playing around a bit.
No,
So
but
I think
most of the bosses are you just need to time your attacks and defense. So yeah, basically,
that's the complex part, and that's the part that maybe people don't like because it's difficult.
But there is some complexity also in the character you want to create, because
yeah, of course.
You have so many classes and so many builds, so you need to really understand what you like in the game and the way that you like to play in the game and the way that it's not suitable for you, I think.
Yeah, and that's a good example of a game that's difficult and not for everyone. But I don't think there's a great complexity behind it. It's just a matter of playing it again and again and again, in my mind, at least.
That's most games. Like as in World of Warcraft, it's like in the Bloodborne and Souls games, basically. You play and die and you learn. In World of Warcraft, you grind. That's basically it. You still need time to grow your character and evolve and level up so you can progress. It's the same for for Souls games, just a different approach. And
the difference is that for Souls games, you don't have you have an inventory, you have items, but they are not as important as they are in a MMORPG, for example, because you've seen that they beat the game completely naked, so it's not impossible. But if you do the same in an MMO, you won't go past level. You won't go past the first boss, for example.
But that's I think that's the game design that differs, the genre. The genre.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's true, but you also have to learn to build. You can go with a priest and get all warrior gear, and it won't work. You have to build it. You have to work it.
Because
and not all the type of gear that you can use is usable for you.
Yeah.
For example, in Souls games, it's a bit more flexible, let's say. Not that it's easy. I'm not saying that, but it's a bit more flexible.
I think they're difficult games in different aspects.
Yeah.
Basically,
yeah.
I think that's it. They just take different approaches to make the player think.
Yeah.
I think, and for instance, I don't know if you guys played Sekiro. I don't say I can say it's my favorite Souls game, but I think it did something very different, very unique. That basically you in Sekiro in the beginning you fight a boss. The first boss is basically just there to kill you, and you just get a huge defeat, and you basically aren't able to keep up with him and anything. And then at the end of the game, after you went through all the journey, all the bosses, all the struggles, you fought that same boss again at the more powerful form. And it's just a breeze. It's just easy. And then after him, you get the actual final boss, which is very difficult. But what I'm trying to say is that the game, just there at that moment, showed me a huge sense of progress. In which, at one point at the beginning, I wasn't able to even touch him, and now it's just a step I need to take to actual face the boss. An annoying step because I already know. It's just annoying to fight him. It's not fun anymore. It's just boring. It gave me that real sense of progress that felt so rewarding and so unique to a game, and also because it took time, and that time is something that, as we were saying, is something that not many people are willing to invest. Which is why other companies are turning for more casual approaches, and I can say for sure, as it's been reported, that From Software sales, the developers of Sekiro and Souls games, their profits are not as high, as when comparing to those more mainstream games, but they do those games that they want to do, and it's something that I can really appreciate, which are very unique experience.
They make their own art and they try to respect it as much as possible.
Yeah,
and
from a developer's perspective, that's much better games to do than the casual ones.
Of course, but that's the thing, because
that I would like to see more. I mean, people companies.
I think we are getting. I think we are getting more games.
We have complex games and difficult games, and those exist, and they are. And if they aren't as difficult, you can try to make them more difficult.
But Diogo, can I just put it something else in the table?
Yes.
Because I think you are able to get that in some games, okay? But the examples that I remember now are multiplayer games. So it's games that you have to train and have to be good. And sorry, just to a little bit back, it's multiplayer games and fighting games. So there are two specific type of games that if you want to be at a competitive level, you need to work hard. Yeah. So I really like fighting games, but there's a lot of time investment on those games to get good. And it's not just mechanically, it's mentally, because a fighting game, it's like it's like a mental game that you're facing your opponent. So you need to not only think how they will move, how they will think on this situation, but you need to predict everything just before it happens. That's how a fighting game happens at the moment. Okay. And I've always liked fighting games. I always like to watch Evo. That's the biggest fighting game tournament.
Yeah.
Because it's really amazing to see how everyone just know the game so well that they are able to do things that you didn't imagine were possible, or they try to know all the ins and outs and the timing and time frame and everything related with the game. So every time I think about complexity in games, I remember fighting games, because I think they are a genre that is really complex it's easy to get in and to do some cool stuff by mashing buttons, but when you try to move to really understand what you need to do, how to react on these situations, how to fool your opponent thinking that you will do something and do something else, that's when I think there's a lot of complexity in mastering and being relative good. I'm not saying good or great or being amazing. It's being relative good that you could impress some of your friends when you're doing gaming nights or something like that. It's really hard to master all those mechanics in the fighting game. So I think they exist, but they are niche games now. They are not like mainstream games.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Agreed, definitely.
Yeah, for example, a game that's dumbing down the civilization every new civilization, they have more details on the UI, more hints to how to play the game, how to win one of the runs. Yeah. And if you go to the first ones, good luck.
Yeah, and actually sometimes it's even too much information that trying to help it just doesn't help. And actually, talking about civilization, I usually play another game called Crusader Kings that basically takes this approach that it's a simulator, a strategy simulator where you are basically a count or a duke or a king, and you have to ensure your dynasty survives until the end of the game. You may get murdered, you may die, you may try to find the eternal life and fail, etc. But the game throws you a lot of curveballs. But one of the things it does is it doesn't help you much. Basically, it sends you into the game, and from there on, you're on your own. Even the tutorial itself, it's not really that much of an help. It helps, of course, there's details there, but you're allowed and you're encouraged to explore the game yourself. And it's a very complex game because you're basically playing against I don't know how many opponents, because basically everyone is an opponent, and they are all trying to kill you, and you're trying to kill all of them, and you are trying to conquer everything, and they're trying to conquer you. And it's difficult, but it's very nice to play. When you understand how it works and how you can win, it's very nice, but it takes time.
That specific, I think it's a Paradox interactive game.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like Souls games. They have like
exactly.
But for more strategic game, yeah. Because I played, I played Europa Universalis, or I think it's called that.
It's one of them.
Yeah,
I haven't played that one yet. I played Stellaris, but Stellaris, for example, it's a lot more handholding than Crusader Kings. It takes you more through the steps of what you've got to do, but it's still a bit unforgiving, of course.
Yeah, but for example, those games,
when you get AI in the middle, then it gets fun.
Yeah, but for example, those games that are going for more hardcore style gamers.
Yeah.
Civilization, okay. I got the hardcore gamers. Now I need to go for the casuals because I need profit.
It's mainstream, basically.
Yeah, basically dumbing down is the company saying, yeah, we make good games, but you need to make good games to make more money.
But I think also that there's a thing as an over complex game. I'm not saying any of those games are, because I've never played them. But I don't think making it simpler makes it worse necessarily. I think it can have a good balance. Like it starts getting bad when it actually takes out the ability of the gamer to find out how to do stuff, like to experience that at the understanding of the mechanics himself. That's when it starts getting bad.
Basically,
but I was just going to say, but if no problem. But basically, it can be. I can accept it becoming simpler if it's on a good approach. In a way that doesn't make it in a way that it can take the frustration without taking the reward. Basically.
Tell me about then the one of the games that people played more in the pandemic is Animal Crossing. The mechanics are simple. You don't, after 2 days or 3 days, if you play like 6 or 7 hours per day, you don't have much more to do. You just, okay, now I'll rework everything again and again and again. And people get hooked up because it's simple. Basically, you don't think, and you pass the time playing.
Yeah, but that style of game, it reminds me of Minecraft and all those games. It's good because you can be creative. I think that helps.
No, Minecraft you can be creative. Animal Crossing you cannot be.
Yeah, you can be. You build your island and everyone is showing their island and have teams and
Minecraft can create a roller coaster with electricity that you do all the systems. That's complex.
That's true. Like Minecraft is a more complex, but it's still the same kind of genre. It's still a creative game. It also does have a survival aspect if you want to. But I think it's more it got this huge appeal because of the actual creativity you can have. And Animal Crossing, it's like a more creative but casual game, which is why it's being played so much currently.
It's
on
good
Switch.
for a pandemic status because it's a calm game. It's a game that you enter, and there is nothing that you have in the game.
Low stakes.
Yeah.
You just go in, you just farm stuff, you just chill.
And wake up 5 hours after. Oh, okay, I'll play all day. I don't know what I do.
You just hate Animal Crossing because you lost your Switch due to that.
I don't hate the game. It's just an example of a dumbing down game that, for example, that came from Minecraft, and it seems it works.
It's because you lost your Switch.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll get that next year or something.
Yeah, I think you need to buy a new one. That's what I did with my wife. I just bought her a Switch so I could get back mine. So I think you need to do that, Tom.
I came to my senses and okay, now I need to go to the PC Master Race again. So I bought a computer.
Whoa, that's a really good transition because topic 4
that's a good segue. Nice.
Consoles versus PC. So
let me get the guns. Wait.
Yeah. So here on the Loud Nerds, I think we have 2 people that only play mainly on consoles. That's me and Joaquim. And you have 2 people that are now more focused on PCs. That is Telmo and Diogo. So we are here on the bar fight about consoles versus PCs. What do you guys think are the advantage? Why you like playing on PC or consoles, and which ones do you think will have a better future in terms of selling and in terms of mainstream, like we were talking before?
For the future, consoles will be the future probably, because for the casual gamers, it's easy, it's cheaper, and you don't need to know much about technology. Just buy a console, install it, and
a console is like a pre-made computer that you can't ever change.
Yeah, the PlayStation 5 is basically a computer now.
Yeah, and that's something that everyone or every casual consumer will like. But
you're offending me. Just to
no, I'm not. I'm not. Already, at least I don't want to. Or if you are being offended, then I think you need to evolve to the master race. Okay, just kidding. But a computer is a lot more is a bigger expense. Let's face it, it is.
But why do you prefer?
The advantage
what is the main reason do you prefer to
start
play on?
Off
mods?
Yeah, exactly. You can customize a lot of stuff. You have your own possibility to install. Consoles already start to have mod support, but you can play around with lots of stuff. You have access to most games. Only the exclusives you don't have, and even those eventually reach the computer, so it's not really big of a problem.
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay, I have another advantage.
What about Horizon and
where's Last of Us?
Yeah,
Last of Us came out 7 years ago.
I said most of them. I didn't.
Where is Uncharted? Where is Uncharted?
Where's God of War?
Well, but if the consoles don't have those specific games, they will lose a lot of.
I think
that's the main advantage of a console. But I also like to be able to, at the moment's notice, okay, I need a new graphic upgrade, and that's just something that I will buy and install. That's easy. I don't have to wait 5 or 10 years for the next model of a new console to get an upgrade.
That was true.
The games will not be limited by the console's performance.
But that was
true.
I was going to say, sorry.
Yeah. That was true, Diogo. but it's not anymore. Let me just explain. We had like a 7-year time with PS4, 2013 until 2020, but we had an upgrade in the middle of this period, so it was basically
you had one upgrade. I could have 7.
No, but let me just.
You would upgrade your PC one time a year?
No, I haven't upgraded my PC since 2017, but
that's 3 years. Okay.
If I wanted.
I know.
No, but
actually, that's a lie. I changed the graphics card in 2 years ago.
Okay, but let me just explain my train of thoughts. So you had that used to be true, but now you have like middle upgrades, and I think they are here to. In the next generation, you'll have a PS5 Pro and the Series X, double X. in the middle of the generation, because first they know they can sell more consoles this way, and secondly, I don't know if you saw, Diogo, but Last of Us 2 on a PS4 Pro, it's amazing. And you could say to me that you were able to do better on a PC, and I can agree with you on that, but I don't think you have a worst experience playing Last of Us 2 on a PS4 Pro that you feel that you need a PC. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I disagree, but I would say that Last of Us was built with an PS4, sorry, in mind.
Yes.
PS4 in mind. Imagine what they would do if they were building it with a computer. And I can tell you of a game that has a large scope. It's not out yet. It won't be out for several years, but they are building it based on a computer, which is Star Citizen.
Yes, but Diogo, that game, I've heard that they've raised. That's been. I think that game is being funded by the crowd, basically, right?
It is.
In Kickstarter, and it's already surpassed $300 million.
Yeah, and
which is
it's very delayed because they keep increasing the scope. But again, they can't do it because it's based for a computer.
I know.
What I'm saying is that a console is a good experience, and you won't hear me saying otherwise. Okay, I have a PlayStation, I have a Switch, and I enjoy playing it. But end of the day, a computer is a better one.
I think the computer is the one that has more power, but I don't think there are. I don't think it has. We're talking about games, so where can we play the games that we want to play? That's basically the point. And I think for me, that's which is the main reason why I'm still on PlayStation, is the exclusives. Yeah. Now there are some exceptions, like Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2 mainly, but the exclusives are good as they are because they are given the time, the budget, and the development time that they need to make this polished experience, basically. And these games for me personally, which is a kinds of experience that I'm looking for in gaming, these games are the ones that evolve gaming as an industry, in the industry, I say. They stop being just mere entertainment and start reaching the art level. Start to become art. Now it still has a long way to go, okay? Because it's still a very young industry. But these are the games that evolve gaming, I believe, and are the ones that make a difference. While in PC, as you said, we have Star Citizen that's been developed for God knows how many years and has been having so many. And the budget keeps getting bigger because the potential is also limitless, as you say. So they just keep improving, and never stop.
Yeah.
Which is not. I can say it's necessarily a bad thing because I believe it will release at some point. But as I said, the games in PC are not as I said, there are exceptions, but are not the ones that I think make the actual impact in us.
Why?
Okay.
Because
Can I ask?
But
I have to disagree there. Why is it
mhm.
because they are
No,
in
tell me.
console? Why is it because they are in console that they make a difference? What's the
No,
difference?
it's not because they're in the console. It's because, as I said, there are exceptions, but it's because they are given the time and development and the budget that they need to make those the games that they want. What but like in the same case was for instance Witcher 3, which is not a console exclusive, but they did everything that they wanted, and no cuts, and no cuts. What's what I'm looking for? No concessions were given to the game. They did everything they wanted and took the time that they needed, and no rushing out any stuff. And that's the thing that I'm looking for.
That's a studio
It's
decision.
not.
It's not.
Yes, but it depends on the budgets.
Yeah,
It
but
depends on the budget.
I have to agree.
But you can
Sorry, I have to agree with Diogo here. I don't think that
Mhm.
it's a PC versus console war here on that part, because it has to be with the studio. It's not depending on if you're playing for a PC or console. The main thing that I don't understand is, and maybe you guys can explain me, is you have a master race top end PC, but then you play on the monitor that doesn't have the same full range as you have on the TV. So you can have a 4K monitor that it's really good, but if you have like a 4K top TV, the image on the TV it's far superior than the image quality on the TV is far superior than the image quality that you can get on the monitor that you have. So it really bothers me saying that you have a thing that has better graphics, but then on the display you are not using the best image that you can get in the market. So you
can get a monitor of a 4K or a 8K.
Yeah, but that's too expensive. No one, or most of the gamers don't have like a
then
top end.
But you can just plug your computer to the TV if you want.
Do you do that? That's my. No, I know that you can.
Actually,
I know that you can.
I don't. I had a choice to do it, but I don't because I chose to buy a widescreen monitor. But
and it's 4K or it's full HD?
It's full HD. Not because I didn't. Actually, I didn't have a choice. That there was no stock back then, and I really needed a monitor, or else the computer wouldn't work. But now I would go for a 4K easily.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I don't understand.
Because
so you have the master, so you have the high-end machine, but then you don't have the high-end screen to match your machine.
So you don't because I didn't have the choice. No, sorry.
Yeah. But
I agree. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to get the hardware and then not really make use of it.
Yeah.
But at least in my case, if I was to buy it now, I would go for the high quality for sure. But since this one works and I don't see a difference right now, I'm not changing it.
Yeah. We need to talk about that then.
Yeah, for me, PCs
but when a guy mentions that he is master race, usually people have proper battle stations. Okay?
Yeah,
they don't go for the cheap stuff.
No, but the thing is that depending on the gamer that you are, because if you are like a shooter gamer, you will always have a full HD monitor because it's faster than a 4K monitor. So it depends on the
higher refresh rate.
Exactly. So if you are like a FPS main focus gamer, then I think you will always go to a full HD monitor because you'll have refresh rates and input lag smaller than you would have on a 4K monitor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say that I prefer consoles to PCs because, like you guys are saying, consoles are simpler. It's just a plug and play thing. The games is you don't need to worry about drives, update drives, and you don't need to worry to increment your laptop and do incremental changes on your laptop. Everything is there in the box. The box is always connected to your TV. I play the PS button and my console turns on, and I can sit on my couch and play it. And for PCs, I think it's always I think that you need to sit on your table, you need to be on your chair, you need to be on a specific place to play it. And I think consoles are more accessible in terms of I can lay down on my couch and play it. But if
Yeah,
I only
exactly.
had a PC, I would have always to go to my table, sit on the table, and being gaming that way. Okay. And the second part is that the main thing that made me want PCs for so many years was because PCs are the main places where you can play strategic games or simulation games. Okay, those games don't exist on consoles. If you are like a Warhammer Total War fan, like I was back in the day, or if you were like a Red Alert or Command and Conquer or all those,
StarCraft.
yeah, all those games only existed on PCs.
Yeah.
So I used to play a lot of Football Manager, Championship Manager, Total War, all those games, or all those games you only were able to get it on
but for example,
PC.
Football Manager on consoles,
No, it's
you
not the same
cannot have,
experience.
and you cannot have the same depth that you have on computers because it's a database. Football is a basically a database, but on computer you can go to get all the power from the computer and you can use it in game. On consoles, you have limitations always.
Yeah.
And for example, on computers, one game that exists for 10 years now, right? Skyrim. If you play on a computer with mods, the game probably looks better than Last of Us.
Yeah. That's true.
There's ridiculously pretty mods for
Community.
graphics. Community.
And they now did something like get all the Elder Scrolls games until Skyrim in a mod and add to the game, so you can play from the first one to the Skyrim in the same game with the graphics of 2020.
Yeah, I think
get that on the console now.
Yeah, the mod supports have always been a very interesting thing on the PC. I think they try to introduce it on the consoles with the Fallout 4, I believe, but I think not I think it didn't go very well. Not many. No, it's like not many people were modding it, and not many people were using the mods. So it was like, no, that doesn't work here. Didn't work here.
Do you know what you need to do the mods for the consoles? The computer.
That's true. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to bring this topic to the table because a next generation of consoles is going to start this year, and for the first time, that's why I brought this topic. For the first time in a lot of years, I'm really thinking if I should go to the next console or if I should build a PC, because my main gaming right now it's multiplayer games. I like to play some single player games, but that's not my focus. That hasn't been my focus for the past. I think the last single player game that I finished, it was Zelda Breath of the Wild when the Switch came in 2017. So after
it's been a while.
So after that, I've played God of War. I didn't finish. I played Horizon. I didn't finish. I played Red Dead Redemption. I didn't finish. I played Uncharted 4 and I finished. So Uncharted 4, I don't remember if it was first Uncharted 4 or Zelda, but I finished Uncharted 4. I didn't play Last of Us 2, even though I watch all the gameplay. So I've been really away from single player games. So that thing about the exclusives that, like you were saying, Joaquim, it's something that used to be really important to me, but now it isn't because I haven't. I cannot say that PS4 I had like play all of them and I really need them. Okay, because I'm getting used to live without them. And the second reason I always choose consoles is because where my friends were. So basically, all my friends were playing on PS4s, and before that on PS3. I never had an Xbox because of that. And in my opinion,
you have crossplay also.
Yeah, and that will touch in my second point, because I used to be on consoles because of my friends. They were all there. And now I think that next gen, everything will be cross-play or cross-progression or cross-save or something cross, okay? If Call of Duty, that is the biggest franchise in the universe, it's able to do that, I don't know why FIFA, Madden, EA games, and EA on the EA presentation, all of the games, they talk about cross-play. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Apex will have crossplay. Madden will have crossplay. FIFA will have crossplay. So we are going to an era that crossplay exists. So I'm really turned on continuing on console or then migrating to a high-end PC that I could just put it in my entertainment system, connect it to my TV, and I just would have to press the button to start, and then play with Xbox controller or a PS4 controller.
You still have to navigate with the mouse, right?
Yeah.
Or
But that was like 5 minutes before starting, so it's not.
Yeah.
And now the computers are like at Steam, the shop, and the Epic now have the big picture mode that you turn on if you open the Steam at the beginning of when the Windows or Linux or something like that just open. It will go like a presentation like PlayStation. So you basically go to your library and pick the games just after turning on the computer. So the computer also adapted to get those persons that don't want to wait. Well, the computer's not turned on in 2 seconds or 3 seconds, and then you can start playing a game after 1 minute.
Yeah, but right now I have a laptop that has an SSD, and you turn off the laptop in like 5 seconds. So it's really fast.
If you go for an high-end, it will be even faster. So
yeah. But that's it. I think we reached the end of our episode. So this was our first episode. So I hope you all enjoy it. We will have episodes every Monday. We are planning a special episode for the middle of next week or as soon as we can, because all of these it's new to us. We are trying our best to follow the schedule. So we'll have a spoiler cast of Last of Us 2. Me and Joaquim will do that. Even though I haven't played, I have watched all the game and I have so much to discuss with Joaquim related with that game. And we'll drop every Monday a new episode with the structure that you have seen. So I hope you all enjoy it. Give us feedback, subscribe, comment, rate us on the podcast feeds that you are listening. Give us comments on YouTube or anything. And I think that's it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, and see you
Bye.
next Monday.
See you next time.
Hey.